Australia's retail recession. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee and I hope you're all having a good Saturday. I thought we'd start the day by having a look at this article from news.com.au, which is looking at, well, signs of doom for Australian retailers and what I would call the retail recession that Australia is deeply in at the moment. Everything, all the economic indicators, consumer sentiment, it's slightly ticked up, but it's well below 100. Below 100 means there are more pessimistic bastards like myself out there who are tightening their wallets. Going for the 7-Eleven $1 coffee before you spend the $4.50 coffee. That's my example there. GDP growth rates are down. If you look at it on a per capita basis, guys, our economy has been depressed. The growth has been below trend since the GFC. The only thing that seems to be propping us up is immigration. So that could be why, for a lot of Australians, perhaps quality of life is going down, affordability is going down. Just have a look at housing affordability. This is outdated data from 2012. It's gone a lot worse since then. There you go, they're the figures. Over 2 to 4 times, depending on the metric you use, or average wage. So, we'll also bring up business confidence, business conditions. They're not looking good either, guys. So let's have a look at this. So on the edge of disaster. Sign that spells doom for Aussie retailers. Bardot, Harris Scarfe and Jeans West have already succumbed. Now dozens of others are right on the edge of shuttering dozens of stores. And this is one thing we need to be aware of, guys. I know people are saying, oh, but it's just a cultural shift. We're moving online. That's not really happening. The percentages of retail that's shifting to online isn't at large. People are saving. People are tightening their belt. And the retail sector, it's a big part of our workforce. It's about 10% of our workforce. It's huge. Huge part. So, the numbers on Christmas spending from the Australian Bureau of Statistics are more no than ho ho ho. The more of these articles I read, you got each, good on you. Jason, they're getting a little pun in. They've all got their own little, I guess, twerks or strategies they use to get it a bit funny. I guess you have to. Let's get a handle on just how bad Christmas was. First, we look at seasonally adjusted numbers as usual. They fell. The worst result since the Christmas of the global financial crisis. Well, there you go. Here, look at this. December growth in retail sales has not been so weak since 2009. So the claims, what happened in December, November, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it brought future sales, pulled them forward. Maybe it sent a wrong message to some people who thought it was turning around. Seasonal adjustment is a complex thing, however. The Australian Bureau of Statistics tries to smooth out the changes month to month to allow us to compare. Sometimes that smoothing can induce wrinkles. It is helpful to look at the original data before they did the seasonal adjustments. You might be surprised at just how much more money we usually spend in December than in the other months of the year. Here you go, look at that. Retail spending monthly millions of dollars. Look at that difference, guys. Look at that. People are going nuts in December. So this is why people are saying how retailers are depending on this December trade. Because look at that. Look how high that is. I'm just thinking from a business perspective how stressful that could be. If this is your 1 month, this is when you make your bank. You have enough cash from this 1 month. It's like a farmer bringing in a harvest, isn't it? And if that crop fails, if your December Christmas harvest fails, it's going to be a stressful year. What this shows is that December retail spending was bigger than November and was also slightly higher than December last year. Please don't get the impression the shops were literally empty during December. There was still Christmas shopping, just not as much as we expected. And that's the issue here. It's what expectations are. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, it's gone up. It's gone up and higher than November. The point is that traditionally, after a healthy November of spending, you'd see a big increase in December too. In 2019, there wasn't. Partly because the healthy November came at the expense of December. People shopped earlier last year. There you go. It's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Did you guys get any bargains? I know we purchased a washing machine, a new washing machine. First time in, 15 years we bought a new one. I guess now that we've grown... Well, no. That machine we had was from when I was single. So now we're a family of 6. Yeah, we probably needed to upgrade. But it wasn't just the new popularity of November's online sales that made December weak. It was also smoke. According to the ABS, smoke that choked New South Wales in December meant a big fall in spending on fun. Specifically, food retailing. Cafes, restaurants, takeaway food services were negatively impacted, ABS Director Ben James said. Retailers would have hoped that the difference between spending in December 2018 and December 2019 will be more than a measly 2.4% given inflation and population growth. That's actually going backwards. There you go. See, that's the thing we've got to realize. Inflation, the tax that none of us realize, well, a lot of us realize, but a lot of people don't, that is eating away at all of the value of our wealth and population growth, which is hiding, in some ways, the depressed state of the economy. So the seasonal adjustments reveals a deeper truth. December was bad in context. Retailers who were expecting a big December to take them through the lean times in January and February must have been deeply disappointed. No wonder retailers have been ringing the insolvency specialists. We already know about Bardot, Jeans West and Harris Scarfe, but there must be more right on the edge of disaster, desperate to find out if this year will be good enough to let them survive a little longer. And looking forward. So can we expect sales to have grown well in January? Obviously not. The smoke that choked Sydney in December spread. Victoria and the ACT also spent much of January breathing through masks. Adelaide had fires and smoke. Basically, the whole east coast was an inferno. And that's on top of the recent phenomenon of January sales being weak. Boxing Day sales just aren't the draw card they once were. Then we get to February, and the tourist dollars that would usually be flowing in are instead drying up as panic about the coronavirus spreads. And I'll bring up this chart just to show the scale of that tourism industry, guys. $60 billion. That's bigger than iron ore, bigger than coal, bigger than gold. Bigger than a lot of our exports. That's a big chunk. And that's going to take a hit. That's going to take a hit. And people were discussing that in yesterday's video. Some of the restaurants that are closing down in Melbourne. One restaurant, Shark Fin restaurant. And I know there was one gentleman who commented he works for a Melbourne bus company. You know, airport transfers. That's a game that'll cop it if it goes down. And here's another one to think about. What about all the Uber drivers? And the taxi drivers? All the people who are supplementing their income or who are bringing their, staying off unemployment because they're doing that. They're going to feel it. They're definitely going to feel it. And petrol's going to keep going up, guys. It's getting more expensive. I've had a few days where I've had $1.70 I've had to put in. It's ludicrous. So it's been a perfect storm of bad news for retailers who might have dared to hope for a good year on top of everything they've enjoyed recently. The slump in retail concerns us all. Consumer spending makes up more than half of the economy. And if it goes into a tailspin, that flows outward to the rest of us. Job losses become more likely. Pay rises become more unlikely. Pay rises, wage growth. What can we find as a circuit breaker? The RBA is not acting for now, but the budget is coming up and we can hope there will be some relief in store, something that lifts income and reinstates enough confidence to get Aussies spending at the shop again. I think Jason is certainly biased towards his argument for government intervention in the economy, and he's an economist, and that's probably his understanding and appreciation of it, I would still argue we need to try something different. We're doing the same thing over and over again. Why don't we create some special economic zones? Maybe parts of the country around cities that are in desperate need that have less of a burden from government interference and, government theatre of safety and other things. Find a way. What regulations, what taxes could you remove to incentivize business? Maybe just, getting rid of payroll tax. Maybe that could be one. They love running up a debt here in Queensland. Does it matter? What are your suggestions, guys? Because remember, the government's just spending, going into more debt, and debt. That money doesn't disappear. We're all going to cop it one way or another. So, there you have it, guys. There you have it. The retail recession is firmly underway. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you like the channel, please share, like, and subscribe. If you want to support us that bit extra, there are a few ways you can. We have a Patreon where you can join. You can join the channel here on YouTube. We also have affiliate links for Amazon, eBay, and Independent Reserve. We sell merch on the HeiseSays website. Pocket squares right now, handmade in this very house. And PayPal if you want to contribute that way. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. And I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.